Shalom. Welcome to the Vinny Stubbs Show, 22 in Boogie. Getting you guys together is like pulling teeth. Lord Almighty. Peter, the 22-year-old virgin, how have you been, my friend?
I'm pretty good. Just really busy, doing a lot of yard work and mowing my own lawn, helping the old man out.
Right. Boogie?
Me? I did the same. I was helping my aunt, and then I got to go help her again.
This is crazy.
I know. Everybody needs my help.
So, you want to get into it now? Let's just do it.
Dive right in.
Let's dive right into the filth. We're not going to pretend that we're sports aficionados. So we took Pete to the bar last Saturday, as promised. And we talked to a few girls for him. And Pete, did you have a good time?
Yes, I did. It was fun and exciting. Very exciting.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit on what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Just shit went down and, it just...
What?
Basically, the whole thing was a shit show on fire.
A shit show on fire. That's crazy. So what happened?
It was a shit show.
Try to explain what happened.
Oh, my God. I was like 4 or 5 Budweisers in. Oh, my God, dude.
What happened there?
Bowling, we had to wait,
all right, other than you not being able to hit a fucking pin, it's kind of outrageous. You're on a sports podcast, you can't play football.
Playing bowling for the first time, it's like Dan Orlowski running out of the end zone against Minnesota,
No, mine was because I hit that pin. We had one pin left, and I knocked it over, our own pin with my foot.
You kicked it over, and you were pissed.
Oh, yeah. Right. That was my Dan Orlowski moment.
Yeah, and we had one pin left over there, too.
And then Pete didn't hit one pin, and then when the game was on the line, he threw it and hit the steel beam.
Oh, my gosh.
But that was just the beginning of our nightmare.
Yeah. And then how many beers did you have at Bowling?
Bowling, 2.
2.
Yeah, 2.
And you were kind of lit.
Pete, you cannot handle your alcohol, Pete.
What did you have? Bud Light?
Budweiser.
Ooh.
And PBR.
PBI.
Well,
PBR.
Stop squeaking the chair, Pete, before I grab your balls.
Now, Stables. What did you drink at Stables? Just going to give a rundown on how much alcohol you consumed.
We had a picture of Budweiser. You decided to finish it, and I did.
Okay. Yeah, we shared a pitcher. Vinny really only had one glass, and you and I split the rest.
I wasn't feeling it.
And we were there for, 15 minutes? And we slammed a pitcher?
Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. So, and then we headed over to Scores, met up with a coworker, and then you decided to take another shot, and another Budweiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
very
buzzed
exciting.
up. And now what? What after that?
Oh, man. I thought I was going to pass out. I was like 4 Budweisers in, and I had to, use the restroom, and then...
I kind of noticed you spitting game to some bartender.
After that shot that I got you, that Grey Goose.
What happened with that?
Had you sitting Indian style in the corner of the bar.
Oh, my gosh. I was playing pool. You're sitting Indian style next to the dartboard.
And guess what?
While someone's playing.
That was water. That was water, Pete. That wasn't even Grey Goose. How are you lit?
The shot?
Yeah.
4 Budweisers really, messed me up.
All right, so I got a recording of you talking to 2 different girls, okay? And then we're going to go over it step by step.
What's your name? Val.
Val? Your name's Val? Yeah. Peter, would you have sex with her?
How old are you? Yeah, sure.
You would?
I don't know. I mean, friends with benefits.
I'm good with that. Friends with benefits.
Oh, you guys want to?
We're good.
Would you give Pete a kiss?
No.
You don't want one, Pete?
No. I'm busy. Why are you recording this?
Why are you recording it?
I'm gonna get water and I'm gonna get Budweiser. I do want women, but I want to have a good time.
You went where?
We went foot bowling. I had like 2 Budweisers, and we went to Stables. I just downed a pitcher of Budweiser. A PBI. I just downed that sucker, man.
I do think you're very attractive.
I'm trying to move out of my parents' house. I'm trying to live on my own. I'm trying to make my own money. Trying to hopefully find a wife. Trying to find a good paying career.
You are good looking. You're very good looking.
Thank you.
It won't be hard for you to find.
I mean, I really appreciate the good vibes and good
Aw, you are so cute. He's so cute.
Thank you for the compliments.
You're welcome. His smile is very cute. Yeah, the way he talks is very adorable. His eyes are very beautiful. Hazel eyes.
Hazel, yeah. My nationality is German, Scandinavian, and I'm part Canadian.
You know what I really like is the way your mouth is, like a little sideways. I love that. It's very cute.
Wow.
It's very cute. You're adorable.
Wow. I really recognize in your glasses. You're perfect. Yeah. I'm Pete. I want to go for school for something hands-on, something that I'm passionate for.
Holy shit.
Pete, sit your ass down.
Yeah, what are you embarrassed
Don't
of?
hit the microphone,
That's
Pete.
your game.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
It's like you drank a gallon of Jack Daniels. That's how
Fucked up it was. Yeah.
Stop hitting the chair, Pete. Hey, Pete, what happened when you went into the bathroom?
Man.
After your shot of water.
I was trying to wash my face, trying to, wake myself up from being, shit-faced drunk. And then I got, okay, someone needs to wake me up, so I just asked someone to slap me in the face. That was a dumbass move. That was a dickhead move from me.
That was one of the greatest nights of my life, Pete.
That was a good night.
Shame on you, Pete.
Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed.
Don't be ashamed. Shame on me for
That
saying
that night, I'll probably regret it.
Why?
No, you won't.
That was a good time.
You're learning.
You need to go out. Look, you already talked to women. You have the confidence to spill your resume all over their face.
You were really confident that night. I mean, you kicked the DJ out of the booth and started DJing.
How are you? Yeah, sure. I don't know. I mean, friends are benefits. Why are you recording that? I'm going to get water and I'm going to get Budweiser. I do want women, but I want to have a good time. I don't know. Information technology, or can we head out? I'm Pete. I want to go for something hands-on, something I'm passionate for. I don't know what I want right now, but she's very beautiful. She's very nice. I want to be friends with her. You're good. Give me foot bowling, like doing foot bowling. I had like 2 Budweisers, and we went to the stables. Picture. Yeah, I just down that fucking.
I do think you're very attractive.
Trying to move out of my parents' house. I'm trying to live on my own, trying to make my own money, find a wife, career. I mean, I really appreciate the good vibes and good, thank you for the compliment. My nationality is German, Scandinavian, and I'm part Canadian.
Oh my God, like he's friend. That's DJ PD Pete and the Rectum Gougers, ladies and gentlemen. You can download that on iTunes and get it while it's hot.
When I had to escort you to the bathroom, your forehead pressed against the wall, and you were like nodding out. I'm like, Pete, come on, get up. You washed your face. You're like, I need somebody to smack me. You asked the ghettoest kid in there.
He had a flat bill with like tattoos on his neck.
It was unreal.
And
then I told him not to slap you hard, but he did a little.
Get your ass in the mic and talk.
He smacked you a little bit, which wasn't bad. So I'm glad I didn't have to beat the shit out of somebody.
I know. Thank you for looking out for me, Cookie.
Well,
I really appreciate it.
And then his friend came in and he tried starting shit.
Yeah,
He's just like, "What? We got a problem in here?"
Yeah,
what do you mean you got a problem?
Flat bill hat, dude. That's the problem.
You just snap back.
He wanted to
start
start something,
He wanted a problem.
Yeah,
because he ended up. Who were we with? Anyways, he tried fighting somebody, and it wasn't happening.
That techno beat from DJ PD Pete and the Rectum Gougers. It reminds you of that Channel 65.5 when we were driving to Foaling, and those guys that sounded like girls were asking each other their Snapchat handles. You ready for this? Channel 65.5, this is Chase. What's your Snapchat handle, caller?
Flunkin' Lover 34.
65.5, what's your handle?
Rectum Gouger 490. Oh my god.
Caller, your handle, please.
Bleach Ball Skin 496.
Caller, your handle.
Shitter 87.
Caller, your handle.
Groom Knife Meter.
Caller, your handle, please.
Shaped Ball Flush 73.
Oh my goodness. What's your hand?
Shaped Ball Flush 77. Pete, get the fuck over here.
Pete, what are you doing? Unbelievable.
He's embarrassed.
Oh man. Wow. That was a good night though with him. Mm-hmm. And he's a good guy. He's a good guy to hang out with.
He's
just
he's a little disturbed.
He's like a little brother. You got to watch out for him. If not, he's gonna get his shit pushed in. He's gonna. It's unbelievable.
Be the 60th caller and receive free Bruno Mars tickets. I'm Chase at 65.5. Pete, tell us what you told us the other day.
Yesterday I was, mowing my lawn, doing a lot of yard work, and I was really busy, and, I had to get, the work done.
Not the work, you fool.
I don't care about that. We called you, and you said that you used what?
I used my toy again.
Did you? Why are you grinning like that? Don't look at me that way.
That is really weird.
Did you?
Yes, sir. I did.
You said at like noon.
Yeah.
Like midday. When was this? Like Tuesday?
Friday.
You need a lot of help, Pete, like immediately.
You need more help than...
Oh, yeah, I need lots of help and lots of practice.
Like, for real.
You...
I see why you're a virgin.
Virgin, they bump boys up to something. They just spent 2 weeks out of the country. Them virgins up to something. Just bluffing. You boys don't come like virgins. I just found a virgin. Woo! You searching for a virgin. Woo! You working twerking those virgins. Woo! Virgin. Chicken fingers, fries. Them hoes want a dish. Those virgins want a dish. Jumping virgin. Those woo!
Right. Welcome back to the Vinny Stubbs Show. I'm Vinny Stubbs. Boogie and 22 are taking a back seat to this one. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Heckler Detroit here.
Hey.
Ward the Heckler Elliot. How the hell are you, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful, brother. How about you?
I'm doing very well, and I really appreciate that you took the time to come out here and talk to me. I got a couple questions I want to ask you about the Detroit Lions, because I am not sure what they're heading in this draft. I don't know what direction they're taking.
A lot of fans feeling the same way right now, especially after the town hall meeting.
How do you feel about the Calvin Johnson thing?
Heartbroken, saddened. Another Detroit sports legend gone, retired too early, but hey, he was hurt. He did his time here, did wonderful things for the team and the community, and you can't do nothing but wish the guy the best.
Where do you got him going next year? You've seen their schedule, right?
Yes, I've seen the schedule.
Are you encouraged? No?
I'm encouraged because of the teams we play struggled on defense last year, but as you know, the NFL changes so much over the course of one season. It's hard to tell. But with the schedule, I can see us honestly going 9-7. I feel 8-8 to 9-7 is very reachable. 10-6, 11-5. I just don't see it happening this year.
I got him going 7-9, and I'm going to tell you why. Losing Calvin Johnson is catastrophic. You don't have an offensive line. I don't know what Bob Quinn's going to do in the draft to address it. And you got Golden Tate and you got Marvin Jones. Those are two number 2 wide receivers. They're not going to draft the wide receiver in the first round again.
No, they're not going to.
And I read a report, and I said it last week on the last podcast we did, that Mel Kiper put out a mock draft saying that they're going to draft Laquan Treadwell, but then he contradicted himself and said that he doesn't have blaze or size. Yes. Therefore, why the hell would you pick him 16th overall?
Yeah, I think Kiper was just calling that pick on basic need for the team and the loss of such a transitional player like Calvin.
Right. So you have no running game, no offensive line, and Stafford's got about a second and a half to get rid of the ball.
Well, see, people that come out and say, we have no offensive line, if you look back at the statistics from the first 8 games, most of Stafford's sacks came in the first half of that season. After Cooter took over, he implemented a slightly different zone blocking scheme that seemed to work. Now, granted, we played less tough defenses, but that the offensive line did click that second half of the year. They played very well. The running game, granted, was dead last in the NFL, but they showed improvements over Jim Bob Cooter. And the fact that Joique Bell is gone is a huge uplifting thing to me because he just could not get the job done last year.
3.3 yards a carry.
And there was multiple, especially in that Green Bay game in which we lost on the Hail Mary, they gave him 3 carries to get 2 yards, and he couldn't get 1.
Jesus. So you think Theo Riddick's going to be the answer with that dilapidated offensive line?
I think Abdullah and Riddick combined with Ridley coming in, I think that's going to give us I think it's going to be situational running. I think when it's going to be up the gut, it's going to be Ridley. When it's going to be first down, it's going to be Abdullah because of his game-breaking ability and the fact that he's got 1 year under his belt in the NFL.
Ridley's an undersized guy, too.
Yes, he
is.
And
if you average his numbers out, because he got injured last year, but if you average his numbers out, he had the equivalent numbers of a Joique Bell, and he's smaller.
Yes, I understand that. But at the same time, he's younger and more explosive. He's not coming off that major injury that Bell had last year. But after Bell was hurt, even Caldwell alluded to, he's just not the same back he was. Leg injuries have taken out a lot of good Lions running backs. Mikel LaShore.
Can they get in the playoffs at 9-7?
I don't believe they can. I really don't believe they can. I think the NFC is going to step up this year. I see Indianapolis coming back because Andrew Luck's going to be healthy.
That's AFC.
I'm sorry, AFC. But other than like Green Bay, Minnesota's going to be tough to beat. Minnesota should have been in the second round of the playoffs, except for their kicker made that horrible kick.
Yeah, they're back indoors now, though.
I see their team getting better because their young players have all got another year of experience. Adrian Peterson showed why he's a Hall of Fame running back. Granted, he's going to be 31 this year, but I just don't see another running back in the league with that capability at that age. The offensive line is humongous.
Dude.
They have one of the largest offensive lines in pro football.
And defensive lines.
Exactly. And they have a very young core of talent, and I just believe that they're starting to click. They're looking pretty dangerous.
Minnesota is? I'm really afraid of Minnesota. I'm not a big believer in Teddy Bridgewater, but I do like their head coach, Zimmerman. But the fact that they're going back to a dome, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way because they got tough when they played outside for those 2 years.
Right.
And teams that are badass play outside. You know that. It gets cold and you're tough, like New England,
Right, Green Bay especially. Yeah.
Like the Lions, they can never do it. And I think a big part of it is because they play indoors.
Well, I think the teams that have outdoor stadiums definitely have an advantage because you're out there in the cold weather and you're used to playing it more often. In the cold weather, and when you have to play games outside, especially late in the year, as you know, we go to Green Bay the last game of the season. So they're going to be prepared for that cold weather a little bit better than what the Lions will be.
What are you looking for in this draft from Bob Quinn?
Preferably, with his draft that I've seen, I believe he's more of a defensive-minded draft guy, and I just believe that he's going to go out and build the defense effectively first and foremost because there's not a big-time wide receiver that's going to fall to 16. Offensive line could be a possibility, especially we need a left tackle, but is there going to be a true left tackle at the number 16 position? Hardly ever does that happen. And I think with the best available draft scenario going, I believe that there's going to be enough good defensive linemen and possibly corners at 16 to take. I don't see him going offense in the first round. I see him going defense.
No O-line?
I don't believe so.
Stafford has no protection.
Stafford. They say Stafford has no protection, but they're going off those first 8 games. If you look at the last 8 games of the season, he had protection. It was down considerably the amount of sacks and pressures he faced.
So what happens when the other teams on the defense adjust to what Jim Bob Cooter did? Do you think Jim Bob Cooter's going to adjust to his scheme? I'd say figure him out like he's done.
Well, I don't think that. I think that. For one, Stafford is a very good quarterback. People don't give him the credit he does deserve. He's an NFL quarterback. He's one of the top 10, 15 quarterbacks in the league. And I just believe that the way Cooter ran that offense last year gave him a confidence boost that he hasn't had since probably Scott Linehan was there.
I miss Scott Linehan so much.
Absolutely.
Are you buying season tickets this year? Even though
absolutely. I've already paid for my season tickets.
Really?
Yes, sir. Detroit Lions fan all day, baby. Ain't missing a game.
Shit.
Well, I mean, people look at, you're buying season tickets here. Yes, of course. I mean, you go to root your team on. You go to see the Lions win, but it's also good to see these great young players. Andrew Luck in his rookie year, I got to see. Cam Newton came in his rookie year. I got to see him. I like to see other stars and how they play and compare them to the players that are on our team.
I think the Lions, this is what Bob Quinn's going to do. In my mind, I don't know who the hell Bob Quinn is. I don't know what he's going to do. I know they hired a new scouting department. Thank God their scouting department, they've run the front office for 30-plus years.
Yes.
And they don't do shit. So with the newly acquired guys that Bob Quinn has, I think that they're going to draft better. What I think that they're going to end up doing is trading back and then getting an extra draft pick and drafting the center out of Alabama. His name's Ryan Kelly, I believe. What do you think about getting a center and then moving Swanson over to tackle?
I like the idea of trading down. I think it's definitely it's a necessity that we need to look at because we need to acquire a few more picks if we possibly can by trading. If we can trade down to 25th or 30th and get an extra second or a third in there, that would be big time, especially because Quinn, I know a little bit about, scouting in terms of baseball, but in terms of Quinn, he's notoriously known for defensive picks, and he's also brought in other player personnel coaches. He's also brought in new scouts, new fresh blood into the organization that he trusts to make good decisions. And I believe that he's going to make an impact in his first year. I believe that we're going to have the best draft that we've had in quite a while. Now,
that's not saying much.
Well, I hear you there, but at the same time, this is the same staff that they seem to hit on the top picks. I mean, Ziggy Ansah, people were questioning the Ziggy Ansah pick after he was drafted, and it turned out to be a gold rush. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously they hit with Sue and they hit with Megatron and they hit with Stafford, but those are picks that you can't miss with. Those are the top, 2 or 3 picks in the draft, and most people are not going to be able to, miss with those.
So say this year they go 7-9, 8-8, 9-7, they don't make the playoffs again, but they have a better draft. And that's another year of Matt Stafford's arm going down the toilet. How long do you see Matt Stafford staying on the Detroit Lions?
Well, he's 28. Well, he'll be 28 this year.
Shit.
I believe he's got, 5 or 6 more years to go. And if you look at top-tier NFL quarterbacks, guys can play at the highest of elite levels to 35, 36, 37 years old. So there's no reason to think that he can't be here another decade.
Does he finish his career in Detroit?
I believe he does.
What's the craziest shit you ever seen in Ford Field?
A couple fights. People rushed like the last game or the what was it? Thanksgiving Day game. The PETA people rushed the rushed the field, and what was funny was the Detroit cops sat there and watched them run to the field, and we watched Safe Management try to tackle the people. And I'm wondering, well, how come the cops ain't putting these people in handcuffs? I was kind of discouraged at
Who's that chick that you heckled on the sideline that worked for Fox?
Oh, Erin Andrews.
What did you say to her?
She's just. I asked her if she had a keyhole I could borrow, and she didn't find it very funny. But hey, she got $75 million off that keyhole, so I guess she's laughing at me now.
So you got the Lions going 7-9, and you think Matt Stafford's going to be here another decade?
I think we're going 9-7, and Stafford's going to be here another decade.
No playoffs though.
I don't believe 9-7 gets us in there unless the AFC comes out and is absolutely dominant.
Their schedule's weak.
Lions' schedule is weak.
Well, we'll see. I do like Terrell Austin. They lost a lot of pieces. I wouldn't mind seeing them draft Reggie Ragland, the linebacker out of Alabama.
Well, I like Ragland. I believe that they need to go defensive end or tackle. I would love to see Kevin Dodd out of Clemson fall to 16. Mm-hmm. Considered top 10, top 12. That would be nice to see. Andrew Billings out of Baylor is another big body at defensive tackle. We definitely need help on that line. And to be truthful, I mean, Ziggy's coming into, I believe, his contract year. And if they can't get a deal done with him, then they're going to have a defensive end down there that can really bring pressure along with him.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, this is what I got. I got the Lions trading back, getting a draft pick, drafting that center out of Alabama and Ryan Kelly, and then in the second round drafting Jason Spriggs, his offensive tackle out of Indiana.
Now, Sports Illustrated called that as well. They like that pick too because he's
that's where I got
he's
that
close.
From.
Okay,
I don't want to be a plagiarist here. That's where I got that from.
Okay, all right.
And I watched footage on him when I seen that.
Right.
Dude, who's that guy out of Ohio State? That offensive tackle.
Oh, Taylor Decker.
He says he blocks too high. I don't see. They can't. They're not in the position right now to take risks. They have got to.
No, I understand it, but taking risks. But I mean, obviously, when you look at collegiate players, you're taking risks. When they get to the pros, they're expected to be coached up. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at the talent level, the tools available for the players, and to see if Taylor Decker has great tools. Then I don't see why they don't take a chance on a big body. I mean, I believe he's 6'7", 6'8", well over 300 pounds. And all he has done is won, and all he's done is flat pancake people on Ohio State's team. I mean, he made Ezekiel Elliott look good in certain times, and he just absolutely manhandles people.
Mm-hmm. You ready for the draft?
I'm absolutely ready for the draft. There's a few players I would like to see, especially with that second round, how you mentioned Jason Springs. There's a guy out of Oklahoma State that was really impressive at defensive end, Emmanuel Ogbah. And this guy just looks like a freak of nature, and I really believe that if he's there in the second round, that's a player the Lions are going to target as well to go on the other side of Ziggy.
Is he related to Brandon Pettigrew?
I have no idea.
All right, well, good stuff, my man. What's up with the Cubs? You still scouting for them?
Yep, doing Michigan, Ohio area, and doing well.
Want to throw a few plugs in?
Yeah, not really. I want to throw a few plugs. My cross-checker, Tim Atkins, my main supervisor, Daniel Carty.
And Dick Pohl. You want to tell him that story about me getting hit in the balls?
Oh, Dick Pohl, yeah. Well, we got a pitching coach named Dick Pohl. He a good friend of mine. Well, you can laugh at his name, can't laugh at the resume. Spent 23 years in the major leagues as a pitching coach, pitched for the Red Sox back in the 70s and the Seattle Mariners. He's actually one of the inaugural members of the Seattle Mariners when they became a franchise team.
I always try to tell people about that story about that prospect hit me in the balls and have a
Alex Sova. He came out of Midland.
No one believes me.
Alex was 6'7" and 220 pounds and committed to Iowa Western, one of the best junior college programs in the country for baseball. And his dad brought him up there to throw, and my catcher backed out at the last minute, so I gave you a call. You said you were willing to do it. And at the time, Sova was 89 to 91 mile an hour with hard low cut on his fastball. And
boy, did he ever!
Yeah, and He caught you with a fastball that skipped the plate, or skipped the plate and connected right into your balls.
Yeah, my testicles. They were ruptured almost.
And you went down like a late 80s Tyson opponent.
It was 2 weeks of literally excruciating pain.
Yes, I remember that.
I just remember hearing Dick Pole going, "Oh my God, I told you, get the stretcher, get the stretcher."
Yeah, Mr. Pole's big on safety for guys, but to this day he always asks me, "How's your cousin and his balls doing?"
My balls are terrific. Well, I think they added a little bit onto them. Thank you very much, Alex. So I hope you get drafted soon.
Yep.
All right, well, when we come back, we'll touch on the Red Wings, Pistons, and the Detroit Tigers on the Vinny Stubbs Show. Thank you, Ward.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's huge for us. It's huge for our organization. We've said all along, look, we got 4 starters in there who've never been. Huge for them. Marcus and Tobias in their 5th year, Andre in his 4th year. It's a great milestone for them to get in, and obviously we hope this is just the start of bigger things to come. Got to start somewhere, and this is it. And like I've said to you, it's a little more satisfying because it's in a year where the East was a lot better.
The Detroit Red Wings are out. We know. Get it. How do you feel about the Detroit Red Wings?
Well, as any Detroit Red Wings fan or any Detroit sports fan, a little bit disappointed. Really wasn't happy. Obviously, nobody was happy with the power play.
Oh my God.
It just seemed like they were just out hustled by a younger team. And to be truthful, the only player I was really proud of in that entire series, Tatar played well. But Peter Mazurek, with his 1.36 goals against average, he saved 94.5% of his save shots. He really kept them in a really tough series. The Lightning played well, but we just could not get it done.
Yeah, they went 1 for 25 on their power plays. Doxu's gone. Brad Richards is unrestricted free agent. Older players are running on fumes.
Well, people say Dotzik's gone. I honestly...
He said it himself. He said he's going to retire.
He said probably. And I can tell you honestly... I just don't believe.
I don't care anyway. They got Anthony saying I don't really give a shit. They need to work on their defense. Mrazek really didn't do that bad of a job. He let up 1 goal in that game.
Yes, sir.
And they were pretty much neck and neck that entire series. Granted, Steven Stamkos is out.
Yes. But
they're pretty much neck and neck with them the entire time. And I got to be honest with you, and people are really going to bash me for this, but Justin Abdelkader is a total pussy, dude. Well, did you see Boyle grab him and manhandle him?
Yes.
And he cried to the ref and told him he didn't want to fight?
Yes.
You have to get your ass kicked at that point, right?
Yes, absolutely. Especially you're at home, you're in Hockey Town, you're a representative of the Red Wings organization. That right there is instant trade bait. Trade him. Get him out of here. Bring Bob Probert back from the dead and have this guy teach him something.
You have got to get your ass kicked once in a while. I've gotten my ass kicked. I'm sure you've gotten your ass kicked a couple times.
Absolutely.
The guy, I know he's like a foot taller than him, but the dude literally cried to the referees and begged the refs to get Boyle off of him. And then Boyle taunted him as he was going to the penalty box, and they squashed him. They didn't do anything after the series. I'd cut his ass.
Yes, absolutely. And that comes back to look at your team. The other team looks at teammates and they see that's sharks in the water.
We're the only ones in Detroit that are saying that. Everybody's sticking up for Abdelkader. Oh, he's a smart player. He's such a smart player. You got to get your ass kicked. Look, I know the Philadelphia Flyers are nowhere near as good as the Red Wings are, but they'll beat the shit out of you.
When you've seen Gretzky not fight or Lemieux not fight, that's understandable. You're talking about goal scorers, game changers. That's one thing. Justin ain't those guys. He has to get out there and he has to mix it up with those guys.
Yeah, I got Ken Holland on the hot seat this year. He's really got to step his shit up.
I believe so too, but I think because of the relationship with him and the Ilitch family and the long-standing amount of playoffs he's helped build and Stanley Cups he's helped bring, I don't really think he's on the hot seat.
They probably got the best farm system in hockey, I'd say.
I believe so too. They got a great player development team, and now they're going to have a brand new arena. And
that's next year.
One
more year. Got
one more year, but still, after that comes in. Yeah, it's not really the picky, but hey, that's what they chose.
Whatever. Well, Datsyuk didn't come through. Zetterberg didn't come through. All those guys, they're running on fumes. They're just old guys.
Yeah, Green and Tatar were your two top scorers with 3 points and 2.
I don't even care that they made it to the playoffs for 25 straight years. You're getting bounced out of the first round every single year.
Yeah, that's not Red Wing hockey.
No, it's not Red Wing hockey. They're building without imploding, but you're getting knocked out of the first round, and you're winning less and less games in the playoffs each and every single year.
Absolutely. They've become more of a team that they're just not tough enough.
They're not tough at all. They're total pansies. I can't even watch watch it.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing, especially coming from old Red Wings fans that have grew up and watched great hockey played in this city.
It's sickening. And Gary Bettman's disgusting. He's trying to threaten people for throwing octopuses out on the ice. He's all pissed off about that.
Yeah,
they're punishing fans for that.
It's a long-standing tradition that needs to be kept.
He needs to be fired.
He's just, I don't know what the guy's problem is. He's trying to change with the times, but he's not changing the right things with the times.
That
was brought to you by Budweiser.
Yeah, I haven't even drank it all yet, but we are going to go downtown in a little bit. So what is the future bright for the Red Wings? Do you see them making the playoffs next year? I mean, if Doc Suit's gone and Brad Richards doesn't come back, and Zetterberg's a shell of himself, do you see them getting back into the playoffs? I know they got young talent.
Yes, I do, for the simple fact of Illich is going to spend money.
No, I don't think he is.
I believe he
is.
All
his money is invested into the Tigers, which aren't doing shit.
Okay, very true. Well, we're struggling a little bit. We still got I believe we're 500 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this question right now, and then we'll get to the Tigers because I'm pissed. Do the Red Wings make the playoffs next year? And
yes,
do you care? Do you want them to make the playoffs? Because if they don't, they get a draft pick.
I want them to make the playoffs
again and not get a draft pick. So
yeah,
you're fine with Mantha, Athanasiou, and Dylan Larkin.
No,
and what do you do with Jimmy Howard?
Howard has to go. I believe.
Who wants to take on his money? Who wants to take on that shit?
It's you're going to have to find a trade partner that will take him as a backup and wants another piece of your puzzle that's in place. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to figure that out. But Holland's been a good GM his entire career.
I agree.
And you can't really just doubt the guy. And Detroit is a destination landing spot historically for good top-tier free agents. And Mr. Illich and that Illich family, who make quite a bit of money, are not afraid to spend money when they think they can win.
Yeah, but I think they have all their money in on the Tigers. I don't think they're making the playoffs next year, especially if Datsyuk's really going and Brad Richards is gone. I mean, their defense is going to get even worse. Their defense is piss poor.
Yes,
they're
absolutely.
blaming Mrazek for that one goal that they gave up. They outshot them and they still lost.
Yes,
you gave up one goal. You couldn't score one fucking goal.
I understand that. But like I said, I think this offseason is going to make a big difference for the Red Wings, and I believe that they're going to go hard after free agents, depending on how Datsuk's contract comes out and things like that. I truly don't believe he's done in Detroit. I believe he comes back.
Mrazek? Oh, who are you talking about? Brad Richards? Oh, Doc.
No, Pavel. I believe he comes back.
I don't want him to come back. He's a shell of himself.
Yeah, he was. I understand, but I believe he comes back.
All right, so they're eliminated. Let's go to the next team that's going to be eliminated by tomorrow when this podcast come out. And you better download it. And you better tell all your friends about it. We're here in Detroit. We're dominating. We're number 3 in the internet radio in Detroit, and we're just dominating. That's just what we do.
Good quality programming.
The Detroit Pistons, Heckler.
Yes, sir.
Cavaliers kicking our ass. It's 3-0.
You have to expect it. They got Kevin Love back.
I did expect it, but I at least wanted one win, and they played their asses off in Game 1, and then the second half of Game 2 completely fell apart.
Yes,
shit at home.
I understand. I mean, you're playing against the self-proclaimed greatest player in the world in LeBron James, even though he lost to Steph Curry last year. You're playing against a
and he'll lose to him again this year.
I believe so. You're playing with a healthy Kyrie Irving, and you're playing with a healthy Kevin Love, who is one of the top 3 or 4 power forwards in the NBA, when healthy. And I believe you put 3 star-studded players together. And they've just had a great series. Irving's hit big shots. He's played off the dribble well. He's made Reggie Jackson look bad. LeBron has shot well and played well defensively. And Kevin Love has just been going at Andre Drummond and playing well. You just can't call it. I mean, you got 3 all-star caliber players, and they've really rose to the occasion against the Pistons in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is what I see. I see lackadaisical defense. Andre Drummond looks confused out there. He had a historically low free throw percentage in NBA history, the worst free throw percentage in NBA history.
Yes, absolutely.
At under 35%. I think it was at like 32%.
Yeah, I think
that's an embarrassment. People in Cleveland are on the radio saying that Andre Drummond's an embarrassment to the NBA.
Well,
you're Cleveland. You're an embarrassment to the United States.
Yeah, I understand that. I hear you there.
Keep your damn mouth shut. You guys don't win anything, and you ain't going to win this year, and you're not going to win next year. And LeBron's probably going to leave after this year and go to L.A., so shut the hell up.
If Cleveland does not win this year, I can honestly see LeBron leaving.
And going to L.A.
Possibly, and taking over that team.
I see Drummond going there, too. I don't think Drummond's the guy, dude. The guy, he's a great big man, if not arguably probably the best big man in the league.
He's very good. He gets a lot of stats because he plays a lot of minutes, but he does play hustle defense. But
he does not play hustle defense.
Well, no, on certain occasions he does. On certain occasions, you see glimpses of what he could be. Great rebounder, decent offensive player.
He needs to get his head out of his ass, dude.
If he could hit 60% from the line, he'd be a stud, but he can't do it.
And it's embarrassing. But I like what Stan Van Gundy's doing. You know they're not going to play. He built the Orlando Magic in the Miami Heat. He won a ring with the Miami Heat, but he failed against the Lakers with Orlando. I believe it was in 2009. And they didn't have much of a defense. The Pistons, the going to work Pistons in the 89, 90, 91, whatever the hell you want to say.
Right, bad boys.
They're known for their defense.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now they used to be known for their defense. Now they're known for their offense.
Right.
Can the Pistons win a championship in the next 2 or 3 years just with an offense with Stan Van Gundy? Is Reggie Jackson the guy? Because I don't think he is.
I don't think he is. The one thing about Jackson that I've noticed
is $80 million.
He takes a lot of off-balance shots. He makes a lot of bad passes, especially in traffic. Mm-hmm. He's a very explosive player. He's a great fast break player. Defensively, he's just not going to be there against the top-tier caliber. As you see, Kyrie Irving ate him alive in this series so far.
Oh, my God.
So I believe in Stan Van Gundy. Great coach everywhere he goes. He builds programs. He wins.
Love him.
And, yeah, you have to love the guy. But I just don't see Reggie Jackson being the man in Detroit that takes his team further.
So Jackson and Drummond, big question marks.
There are two
they need a better
two marquee
point guard.
players are struggling on defense, and they're struggling against good defensive opponents right now.
I like Tobias Harris.
Yeah, Harris is a great pickup.
I like KCP. I like Stanley Johnson.
Yes.
Oh, what do you think about Stanley Johnson's comments about getting in LeBron James' head?
I can see where he's coming from. I don't know if he had a conversation with Dennis Rodman at all during his career. I see what he's doing. He's kind of got an old school mentality with a new school swag.
Right.
But he needs to get some court presence, and he needs to beef up his resume before he starts talking smack.
Right. Like if I'm in Stanley Johnson, like he's 19 years old. Like I'd rather give LeBron James head than say I'm getting in his head.
Yes,
you know what
exactly.
I'm saying, dude? Like
exactly.
you gotta keep your mouth shut, dude.
Yeah.
You have not done anything yet in this league to be running your
LeBron
mouth.
James does not need bullet board material to make you look bad on the court.
You're not going to get in his head. Golden State's going to get in his head.
Absolutely.
Or possibly Toronto. Because I think Toronto, I don't know, they just lost the Pacers.
I mean, Delonte West got in his head and he was on the same team.
You'd have to bring that up. You talking about the mother reference?
Yeah, they went west.
That's beautiful. Are we going to get swept?
I believe so. I think
Clean
we're out of
sweep.
here. Clean sweep by Cleveland.
Son of a bitch.
I
Game
just
one,
don't
they had
see it. Crowd was kind of loud.
I loved it.
Crowd was kind of loud for the playoffs, and you get a little bit of atmosphere, but we just don't have that we don't have that home court advantage we had when in 04 and 05 when she and them guys were here. We just don't have that type of home court presence, and LeBron and Kyrie Irving and especially Kevin Love coming back from injury, they're clicking and they're playing good basketball. They're hitting high percentages of their shots, and they're just very fundamentally sound right now.
Finals prediction.
Cavs against the Warriors,
again?
with the Warriors beating the Cavs again.
Beautiful.
I just don't see this. I don't see the Spurs beating, even though they're the best.
Warriors?
Yeah, I just don't see it happening because the Spurs are the best defensive team in the NBA.
What if Curry's ankle's still messed up?
If Curry's ankle's still messed up, then I don't think they're going to beat the Spurs. But I don't see that happening. I think the last 2 games of Curry sitting out has not been because he's hurt. I believe it's because of precautionary reasons to let it heal. I think it's just a light sprain. It's nothing major. If it was anything major, we have already heard about it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's going to be the Warriors and the Cavs again, and the Warriors are going to win.
Yeah. Another ring for Draymond Green and the Michigan State Spartans.
I got 2 more questions for you about the NBA. The comment Stan Van Gundy made about the refs going in the locker room at halftime and getting fined $25,000.
Yeah, I think honesty has always been the best policy, but it's not with the NBA refs.
So why interview the guy going in the locker room?
I don't understand that. I think there's a lot of people don't realize that these guys are out there fighting for their jobs, their self-respect against other players. They're playing top-notch competition, and then when you're coming off after a tough loss like that, to throw a microphone in a guy's face who is full of energy and full of spite after just losing that game and angry, that's just wrong. There needs to be some kind of buffer period, 5, 10, 15 minutes, where a guy can come out of the locker room, especially coach or player, simmer down a little bit from what just happened, think about the questions that are asked to him. But I just think that's more on the news media, just trying to make a story out of something.
Mm-hmm. How far away are the Detroit Pistons in your mind?
1 major free agent.
Really?
I believe that we're 1 major free agent away or 1 trade. The depth
the bench is brutal.
The bench is brutal. But
I like Bullock and I like Johnson, but I think Johnson's going to be a starter next year.
I think that if you land a quality free agent, either another point guard to replace Jackson to make him either the shoot or to come in there, Steve Blake has got to go.
Go.
I'll
take Matthew Dellavedova.
He can't even guard white guys.
No,
he has no business in the NBA right now.
He couldn't guard the cheerleaders. He couldn't guard a dude with one leg sitting like the nosebleeds.
Seriously, you got to get rid of him. He's gone. Get rid of him. Find another quality free agent.
Anything. It doesn't even have to be quality. Just have a container of Gatorade out there instead of Steve Blake.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. You got to get somebody out there that can play defense and that can pass the ball.
Right. We'll touch on the Detroit Tigers when we come back on the Vinny Stubbs Show.
That's right.
Heckler, your Detroit Tigers look like shit, my friend.
Offense struggling.
Dude, big time. Just got smoked 10-1. I mean, they made Lonnie Chisenhall look like Babe Ruth today.
It's not looking good right
Guy
now.
was batting 0.91 before the game started.
We've got starters batting below the Mendoza line. It's not good.
Dude, what's the problem? Is it Brad Ausmus? Because I think it's pretty obvious the guy's a shitty manager.
I don't believe it's all him, but he does not have managerial experience enough to take a team, especially last year. I'd asked a few different pro coaches, guys that spent their lives in Major League Baseball that I work with and I learn from, and they kind of liken it to, an 18-year-old getting a Bentley and having the keys to it. Mm-hmm. And you just don't appreciate what you have, and you're just not, with no managerial experience. It was a big mistake on Dave Dombrowski's part, especially with Mike Ilitch, to hire a guy with no coaching experience whatsoever, none at any level, let alone the minor league level, let alone the major league level.
Nothing.
And there was different options out there
you could
to
have
go
Lloyd
with.
McClendon, Gene Lamont.
Dusty Baker was out there.
Dusty Baker. He's got the Nationals playing great. This is what the Nationals should have did last year, and they lost 2 starting pitchers, and now they're doing it.
You need a coach, especially as a manager, that knows how to groom pitching, that knows how to really get into the intricacies of Major League Baseball and when to run, when to hit, and when to put those squeeze plays on, and just things that Ausmus is just not doing. He's got big bats, but the bats are struggling right now, and I'm starting to wonder what's going on with the hitting coaches and what's going on in practice.
Exactly. I mean, they hired a new they hired a new pitching coach.
Yes, Jeff Jones retired. Unfortunately,
he did a shitty job. They fired Ian Kroll got sent back home for being lazy.
Well,
he didn't work out. Bruce Rondon's lazy, so they bring this guy in from Philadelphia.
Yes.
They bolstered their bullpen.
Yes.
Dave Dombrowski's gone.
Yes.
They acquired Mike Pelfrey, which was the worst decision.
I didn't agree with it.
This is what they're going to do with Mike Pelfrey, and I already know they're paying him way too much money. But his ERA is skyrocketing, and the guy sucks. He can pitch for like 5 1/3, and he's done.
Yes.
And he'll give up 4 or 5 runs.
Yes.
Danny Norris is going to come back off the 15-day DL, and he will be the number 5 starter.
He's going to have to be.
He's going to be the reliever, the long stretch reliever to 7 to 8. He's going to be the Joaquin Soria.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But that scares me
be.
too because of his ERA ballooning like this.
The thing that helps me is Alex Wilson's back, and coming out of West Virginia, good old Alex Wilson, baby, former Red Sox. I know the guy that drafted him, John Atkins. And he's a former Huntington Hound. Now that Wilson's back, I think it's going to make a big difference because he's a strikeout per inning type of guy.
Justin Verlander, what do you think about this guy? I mean, he's pitched the most amount of innings out of any Detroit Tiger starter.
Yes, yes.
But his whip, let me see where his whip's at.
137.
His whip's at 137, and his ERA is almost at 6 at 5.79. At the beginning of the season on the Motor City Sports Rant that you can hear every Tuesday with me and Jarvie, I said that he is going to have an ERA north of 5 with 13 wins, and everyone, you're crazy. I'm like, how am I crazy? He won 4 games last year.
Well, he won 4 games last year. He was hurt.
I understand that, but this is who he is now.
When he came off the disabled list, he was doing better. Well,
do you see him adjusting to the pitcher that he knows that he's becoming, or is he still refusing to address that.
I think he's refused to address it.
I do, too.
You can see where he's just rearing back and throwing that fastball, trying to get 94, 95, 96, instead of really trying to place the pitch.
He can't even get 96 anymore.
Well,
it's stuck at like 93 for his fastball. It's over.
Well,
Adjust the pitcher that you are and stop.
He's had several 94, 95s in there, but it's just when I see him hit 94, 95, I see it high and out of the zone because he's just rearing back and throwing it. But he's still over a strikeout per inning pitcher right now. He has allowed 5 home runs, which is kind of surprising in just 4 starts, and 8 walks in 4 starts, which is not as bad as what it could be. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he's leaving meatballs in the middle of the plate, and guys are hammering him in the wrong situations.
Absolutely. He's got to figure it out because they're paying him a lot of money, and we're counting on this guy to help us be productive and have a winning season.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were 14 games under 500 last year. That's a team that just got swept by Baltimore in the first round of the playoffs with the ALDS. But they went to the pennant the year before that, and then was beat the Red Sox to go face the Cardinals in the World Series.
Yes,
you still have the talent there. You never had the bullpen there to begin with.
Right, exactly.
You had a better manager.
Yeah, you had
a
better manager.
The problem is, Sanchez is pitching 5 1/3 maybe. Verlander's pitching 5 1/3 maybe. They're only 90-plus pitchers. They can't go over 100.
Right.
Or they'll get either the bases loaded or they'll get the corners juiced. And they're screwed. Who are you going to bring in? Drew Verhagen? The guy sucks.
Right.
The guy stuck up for him at the beginning of the year. You got Justin Wilson and Alex Wilson. I don't trust these guys. Blaine Hardy's the worst lefty in the major leagues.
And K-Rod.
He is such trash. And we're going to get to K-Rod in a minute because that's another thing. At the beginning of the year, I said there's a possibility that he can be Joe Nathan 2.0.
Yes.
And he looks like Todd Jones.
Yes. He's not throwing hard. He's 89 and 91 miles an hour right now off the mound. He's got a 174 whip, but the thing that's really scaring me is he's pitched 6 innings. He has 3 strikeouts. Your closer cannot be a 0.5 strikeout per guy. He's got most closers in the major leagues are 1 strikeout or better. You can't do it, and he's not K-Rod anymore. He's just Francisco Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm. So what are they going to do? Bruce Rendon?
Bruce
Are they going
Rendon.
to bring this guy up? I heard he's hurt again. Is he hurt again, or am I hearing shit?
I haven't heard that yet, but it wouldn't surprise me. He's had nothing but injury problems.
He hurt his throwing arm.
Okay, then it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's at this point, Tiger fans can't really rely on that. He's more of a project. Their development coaches are just going to have to come in and do the best they can with the guys in minor leagues and try to beef someone up, or they need to try to make a trade as the season progresses. There's going to be a lot of trade partners out there for relief pitching come the trade deadline, but we're still months away from that.
Boy, Sanchez, 4 games started, 18 innings pitched.
Yes, sir.
Jesus Christ.
His changeup, which is usually his
ERA
signature
is
pitch.
7. His whip is at 1.89.
Yeah.
You're not going to win like that.
No, we can't win like
The
that.
White Sox are kicking ass.
Well, the White Sox put a lot of money in their team to overhaul it.
Yeah, I know the season just started. I don't know. They're pitching. Their offense is ruthless.
No, they're off. Yeah, exactly.
I called at the beginning of the year. I said, the White Sox aren't a joke. I put it on Twitter. It was like, what do you don't know anything. You don't know what you're talking about. I go, watch. They're dangerous.
No, they are. They made a trade for Todd Frazier, and they got a lot better offensively. And
what do the Tigers do with the All-Star break? They're 500, but they're still in the race. K-Rod's taking a shit. Verlander is Verlander. Sanchez is Sanchez. You know you're get out of Pelfrey.
You got to start looking at Verlander and Sanchez as your number 4, number 5 starters.
Right. And another thing, Miguel Cabrera, 3 home runs in his last 54 games.
Yeah, the power is just not there. He's still hitting. Well, actually, right now he's only hitting, I believe, 210.
What?
At the moment, his average is 210 right now. He's not hitting. See, that's what I mean. We have 4 starters under 250 of a batting average or worse. I mean, V-Mart's hitting 245. Ghost is hitting 186.
Oh, Ghost sucks.
Justin Upton, who I did not like the signing. I bashed it as soon as it happened.
He's a strikeout monster.
He's on pace for 300 strikeouts right now. He has 30 Ks in 16 games.
The guy Ks more than Austin Jackson.
Yeah, and he leaves a lot of runners on base.
It's unbelievable. The only thing that they did was get Jared Saltalamacchia, and he's going to fizzle out. You know he's not going to be doing this shit all year.
No, he's not going to be doing it all year, but I tell you what, he really has resurrected his career this year
in absolutely,
Detroit.
I agree.
And he's been a godsend because with McCann getting hurt, he's really stepped up. And to tell you the truth, if he continues a pace like this and McCann comes back, I don't know if McCann gets his job back.
Dude, come on. McCann's going to get his job back.
Well, we'll see. If Saltalamacchia continues to hit like this and play solid defense like he is, they're not going to yank him out to give McCann reps. Mm-hmm. They're going to let him hit and try to win games.
Oh, son of a bitch! What do you see them going the rest of the year? The record 162 games. They went 74.
I don't see
74 and 88 last year.
I don't see the Tigers make it 500. We don't steal bases.
Shit.
We don't hit and run. We got a little bit of power, but to be truthful, I mean, I think they have.
Cabrera literally is hitting 210.
I mean, yeah, we're in 16 games. The team has 1 stolen base and no triples.
Wow, unbelievable.
There's no offense, no triples, 1 stolen base. These guys can't run. It's as a good friend of mine, Von Joshua, would tell me, when these guys hit, it's the outhouse or the penthouse with these guys. It's all or nothing with this team.
You guys want to go to the penthouse tonight after this podcast? Mike, you down? The producer Mike in the background.
Mike too is a producer. Yeah, I think we're gonna go to the penthouse tonight. Make it rain.
Make it rain tonight, like we did at Trump's night one night. Thank you so much. God bless your soul, Heckler. You're just a savage, an animal, and a monster. And I would like to
no
thank
problem.
You
I had an extra $1,000 we
podcast.
could spend that night. It was great.
It was just a great
You were a
night.
big hit with the ladies. They loved you.
They sure did. And you taught me how to make it rain, and you did it like a professional.
Yes, sir, I did.
God bless your heart, and I really...
God bless all the single mothers in America.
I thank you so much. And God bless the single mothers, too.
Big shout out to Angel, my girl.
Love
you, Angel.
The funny thing is, they're all nurses.
They're all nurses.
No, but they're not, though.
Oh, they are. They're used to nursing something.
They're nursing my wiener.
And your pocketbooks.
Right. Or your pocketbooks.
Yeah.
Remember you taught me the slingshot a couple of years ago?
Yes, the slingshot's a move that you definitely use on the young ladies to get the most out of your dollar.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on this
Hey,
podcast.
my pleasure.
You might be a staple here from now on.
Well, you
know your baseball, man. That's great.
Absolutely.
So, you had the Tigers going under 500. I had them going 84 and 78 at the beginning of the season. They're 500 now. I don't like Brad Ausmus. He makes bad decisions. He leaves the starters out there too long. But I'm going to stay the course. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I had them going 81 and 81 last year, and everyone thought I was high, but they went 14 under. I'm still going to say that they go 84 and 78. And they get a wild card spot. I hope the White Sox fizzle out because you know the Royals aren't.
I just don't see us getting 84 wins, especially with a team that can't pitch. Their starters are not doing their jobs. Bullpen's going to be shaky. You're not running at all. Teams with no speed just simply don't win a lot of games. Guys that can run, that can stretch out doubles and triples and beat out infield singles. We don't, other than Iglesias and Ghost. Ghost is hitting 186, and this guy's one of the faster major leaguers out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's 3.6, 3.7 home base the first time.
World Series predictions. Too early?
Too early for me.
I like the Nationals.
Well, too early. Everybody should like the Nationals. Bryce Harper's becoming arguably the best young player in baseball. And
I like the Cubs, too, but Schwarber's out. Is he out? Is he going to be in the playoffs?
No, I think he's done for the year.
Wow. What a bummer.
You lost one of the premier young power hitters in baseball. He was averaging 14, a home run every 14.8 at bats, and he had 5 home runs in the playoffs last year and was proven to be what he was. But at the same time, if anybody is equipped to handle that type of devastating loss, it's the Cubs because of this roster Epstein and the scouting department has put together.
Is Theo Epstein the best GM in baseball?
I think there's no question about it.
I don't think
there's no question about it.
He is the best GM in baseball. I'm so jealous
He
of him.
goes out and he gets Joe Madden. He goes out and he makes big splashes. He goes against the St. Louis Cardinals and takes Jason Hayward, their premier center fielder, away from those guys, which was a huge blow to St. Louis. And then we signed a pitcher from there, and John Lackey, who has great playoff performances and is a true leader and a clubhouse guy, is coming out and pitching his tail off for Detroit. He signs Jake Arrieta, and people don't give Chris Bosio enough credit for what he's done with Jake Arrieta and that Chicago Cub pitching staff, because Chris Bosio pitched a long time in the major leagues and knows what he's doing.
Can they still make the World Series with no Schwarber?
Absolutely, they can make the World Series with no Schwarber. You got Rizzo and you got Bryant as 2 of the best young power hitters in the game. I mean, until Schwarber got hurt, you'd have to compare them to the mid-'90s Cleveland Indians, because they got speed at the top, and when Cleveland had Albert Bell and Jim Thome and Manny Ramirez, and we have Rizzo, who was a 30-30 club member last year, not 30 stolen bases, 30 hit by pitches. He had 30 homers and 30 hit by pitches, the first player since Don Baylor to do it. And then you got Chris Bryant, who is just hitting 450-foot home runs like it's nothing.
Who's that guy that we went to go scout at Michigan State? He was a reliever, got drafted by the Cubs. What's he doing?
David Gardner?
Yeah, David Gardner.
He's doing pretty well. He's I believe he's up in the double or triple A right now. He's 95, 97 mile an hour off the mound.
Really?
Yep, and he's doing quite well. Tim Atkins drafted him and signed him, and the guy is a flamethrower, and he's going to have a chance to make that roster later on in the year as a relief pitcher.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Guy's good.
Well, go Cubs, man. If the Tigers don't do it, my Philadelphia Phillies are not. They're in the toilet. I think they're like, 6-10?
Yeah, they need to make some trades, dump some salary from some of the
They can't. No one's going to
players.
touch any of those guys.
Yeah, I know.
I hope it was worth it. Well, at least we won a championship out of it.
Yes, you did get a World Series out of it. That's something to be proud of.
Yeah, well, that pretty much wrapped. Well, the Tigers, damn it. 2013, I was in your living room. We were up, and then I think it was Joaquin Benoit.
Yes.
He threw a meatball right down the center to David Ortiz, and he just crushed it.
Yeah.
And Torrey Hunter fell over the wall. Dude, it felt like somebody in my family got shot in the face right in front of me.
Dude. And that's honestly, that's the beauty of sports.
It was not beautiful at all.
It wasn't beautiful to us because we were losing, but it's the beauty of sports. Anything can happen, and that's why America loves sports, and this is a sports-driven nation.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, Heckler.
My pleasure.
You're welcome anytime, my friend. You can find this guy at Ford Field raising hell every Sunday. Drunker than a skunk. That's an understatement. This guy can't even walk out when he's done. We went to the Raiders game, and he parked his car. We couldn't even find it for an hour.
That's right.
And then you found it when I just gave up and just went in the bar. It was like minus 20 degrees. Thanks
Yeah, it was cold.
It
was
hell.
cold and windy, and it was a good game.
Well, you did a hell of a job, and I wish you tons of success with the Chicago Cubs, even though I hate them, and I think the Tigers are going under 500, and so do you. But
yeah,
son of a bitch, they need to get rid of Brad Ausmus and just have Gene Lamont be their interim manager for this year. I mean, this guy's not going to get the job done.
It wouldn't be bad, but he's not. I don't.
He's not.
I don't see him lasting the year. I do not see him lasting the year.
All right, well, thanks for coming on the show. You can listen
Yes,
to the Vinny
sir.
Stubbs Show every Sunday at around 12 o'clock on DetroitSportsPodcast.com. Once again, that's DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
STDs.com.